Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to a new show here on the channel. Yes, another new show. That's right. So, for all the people who watch the Hudson Valley Squares and complain that we don't see Lynn enough, well, Lynn and I have figured out that it's time to give Lynn her own show. So, it's another
Oh,
once a month show called Giggin with Lynn because Lynn goes to more concerts than like just about anybody else that I know. So,
not that I really am going. I'm working.
but you're there, right?
I'm there. I am there. I do get to enjoy the music and see some epic musicians. So I'm thankful and grateful and blessed and all of that for
Yeah.
sure.
So I figured
So
this would be good once a month for Lynn to just kind of play catch up with everybody watching
yeah,
and say, hey, this is some of the
gotcha.
cool shit that I've either gone to see on my own or was working, because you might as well tell people like kind of where you work and because you
Yeah,
work at a couple pretty nice venues,
I
especially one in
do.
particular. So
Yeah.
anyway, so I'll turn it over to Lynne Versaci so she can kind of get us caught up here.
Um,
Last
all
three.
right, let me just quiet my dog down. I don't know what's wrong with my dogs. Of course, now he's gonna bark the whole time because they want something. I don't quite know what, but where have I been? I work at Daryl's house. Shh. In Pauling, and that's Daryl Hall and John Oates. Daryl Hall owns the place, and I work there and I bartend all the shows. And I'm just looking at this thing for January and February alone. So I've been to all of these shows in January, and I tell you, the month started out with Yacht Lobsters, and a lot of these bands are tribute bands, but I tell you, they're unbelievable. They really are amazing tribute bands.
So Yacht Lobsters, is that like a yacht
It's a
rock
70s.
tribute band?
Yeah, it's a 70s. Let me tell my daughter to come get these animals. It's a 70s. They do everything. I mean, from Baker Street to, I mean, anything 70s, anything you find on Yacht Rock Radio
Yeah.
on Sirius, they played. And it was just fun from the start, from the minute, and I always say, like, my extra jobs, my jobs at nighttime, whether it's bartending, doing security, whatever, like, I really am fortunate because I work in great venues, and it's almost like not even working. It's almost like I can't even believe I'm getting paid to hear these amazing musicians, to dance, to sing, to meet. I mean, really, I meet thousands of people a month come into all these venues, and I have a great time with everybody. I really do. So that started out my month, and then I did Damn the Torpedoes, a tribute to Tom Petty. And I'm like, and you know me with Tom Petty, right? I'm like, Tom Petty, I don't like Tom Petty. Who likes Tom Petty? And I go there,
Everybody likes Tom Petty.
dude. I stick my foot in my mouth and I tell you, everybody likes Tom Petty for sure. Hold on 1 second, let me get these dogs out of here.
Everybody does love Tom Petty, including myself. And I just picked that up. Wildflowers and All the Rest by Tom Petty.
They don't
Yes.
want to go. They just want to bother me.
Okay, that's
They
okay.
want
We
to
love
just
dogs, so yeah, that's fine.
we have to be dog friendly in this episode because they
Yes.
just want to be on top of me. But yeah, I sang every song from open to close. I don't know what I was thinking by saying I don't like Tom Petty. Apparently I do. And they were great. Again, I closed my eyes. I feel like it's Tom Petty. They were really good. Black Crowes tribute. That was great. Satisfaction, Rolling Stone show. Epic. Creedence Clearwater Revival. I'm like, yeah, I think I know one or two songs.
You
I
know, like
sang
50 Creedence songs.
I sang the whole entire night. And I had all these people at my bar and they're like, oh, I thought you didn't know any songs. I'm like, thought I didn't either. But you know how like me, you and Butch, we joke around, like I sing the wrong words to songs for years. I just do. I sing ridiculously wrong lyrics all the time. I guess I didn't know Credence. I don't know who's singing half the time. You know, I was singing songs last night and they're like, do you know who this is? I'm like, not a clue, but I know I love them. Whoever it is, I love them. It's just funny. They had this Journey tribute band, Departure.
Yeah, they're really good.
Oh my God. I mean, these bands were just insane. And then Adam Ezra, who's a local artist here, and he does a lot of his own songs. He played with this band, Cersei. They packed the place, and I tell you, they played for hours. And at the end of the night, and you know what a Beatles fan I am. I love the Beatles. at the end of the night, the love for music that you felt in the room. Now, again, bands come, they play 90 minutes, they play 2 hours. He played like 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Wow.
And everyone was just on their feet. It was, you felt the love, you felt the love for music, you felt the love for one another. It was just a peaceful, really cool vibe. And at the end of the show, he got up on a table, and his wife plays violin, and she did this violin solo, and he played acoustic. The whole bar sang "Let It Be," the whole bar acoustic, and I had tears in my eyes. I swear to God, I did, because it was like, you know what? I don't give a shit what age I am. This is why I do what I do. There's no other feeling in the world like the one music puts in your veins. There's just not. I mean, nothing really comes close in my book.
Yeah,
And
I agree. I agree.
listening to that Beatles song and listen to everybody sing it, it was, and again, the young kids that I work with are like, what? Can we just go home? This is ridiculous. I'm like, ridiculous. This is history. This is what love feels like. This is what peace feels like. This is what sharing a moment with everyone that has a passion for music feels like. It's a feeling like no other. Then we had a Heart tribute. We had a Guns N' Roses tribute, which I know you love.
My favorite band of all time. Yes.
Which I know you love. And then I went to Porter Carroll. You know who Porter Carroll is? He plays with Daryl Hall.
Okay.
Oh my God. This guy, I was like, when I tell you blown away, because when they record the show at Daryl's house, they record the show, and I'll go there and I'll get them all drinks, and then they record at the bar. And every time Porter walks in, he goes to me, "Oh, there she is." And I go, what do I do now? He goes, "Nothing, you're just the devil." I was like, why am I the devil? He's like, "I got to stay away from you." So I'm like, like, I don't get it. And then he introduces me to a couple other people, and he's like, "Yep, I could see it." I'm like, "I don't understand. Like, I really am an angel." And he's like, "You are just that." He goes, "And that's why you're the devil." And I was like, okay. But I tell you, that night he played, and it was jazz, guitar, he sang. I mean, it was, again, the passion for the music that the whole crowd was just like, oh my God. And I can't even explain. You really need to go to a Porter Carroll show to understand and appreciate. And then the next night I wasn't working. I had an event I had to be at. And then Don Jameson, Jim Florentine, and Karen Margolis were there for a comedy show. And I managed to, unfortunately, I missed Don, but I got to see him and hang out with him and Karen and Jim. But Jim's show was epic. I mean, he's really is funny. His stand up it was really good. I laughed from the minute I got there till the minute he went off stage. And I'm sure Don was just as good. He told me a few of his jokes afterwards, and he's like, "But you missed my set." And I felt terrible, but he's a great guy. Actually, I invited him on the show one of these days, so hopefully he's going to be able to come on. That will be cool. Then I saw the next night the Amish Outlaws. And for anyone who doesn't know what the Amish Outlaws are, they are a band that dresses all in Amish gear. But that night they had Chris Caffrey from TSO. Um,
I saw pictures from that night. Yeah.
he was unbelievable. He came out and he had the shorts on, and he had the Amish hat on. He had the suspenders on.
And a
And I was
flying
just,
V guitar, right? So it just
oh my
doesn't.
God. And it was lit up, and I'm taking video and I'm taking pictures. And I was like, this is epic. Like, he's jamming with these guys. And it was just, people were like, and then half my friends were like, if I only knew he was going to be there. I said, if everyone actually read, a little bit online, they would see that they're special guests, and you just never know who's going to show up, and that was great. Then they had a Bon Jovi tribute the other night. They had a Skinner band, great. Def Leppard last night, and our friend Lenny, who plays with a boatload of people around here, he played. That was unbelievable. And then my memorable shows were I actually a Santana band that my friend Nick Real plays in, and I didn't work that night, but I actually ended up going with a couple girlfriends. And the percussions that night, I actually stood behind the guy's percussion, and because I don't know, that thing in one of the Ozzy songs, I forgot what he called it. It was almost like a perverse name of a, and you hit it and it goes like, I don't know, it was a really cool sound. So I'm behind this guy's percussion at the end of the night, and I'm hitting this thing, and it was It was a funny name. It was
You're
like
hitting his thing.
it's a thing. It was a thing, but it was a
You
funny
go
thing.
from
It
a
was a
PG
funny.
show to an R-rated show, right?
I couldn't remember the name of the thing, but it was hysterical. And then I went to the Capitol Theater and I worked Bob Weir. And for anyone that knows Bob Weir, I mean,
Yeah,
he's
Bob's
just,
great.
I mean, he's Bob Weir, right? So he was just unbelievable. And I did a show for him at Bethel Woods last year. I did hospitality backstage for him and his family. And his daughter actually, which I didn't even know it was his daughter because she's 20, or at the time she was 20. She had this really cool outfit on, and my daughter was almost her age. And I said, "Oh my God, where'd you get this outfit?" She's telling me, and she's like, "Oh, friend me on Instagram." And so we're friends, and I didn't know it was Chloe Weir. I didn't know. She's like, "Oh yeah, my dad's in the band." I'm like, "Oh cool, I didn't know your dad was in the band." And she looks at me, she's like, "You didn't know my dad was in the band?" I said, "I'm sorry, I don't know who your dad is." She's like, "Bob Weir." I'm not really sure who your dad is. And she's like, "You don't know Bob Weir?" And I'm like, "Maybe." She's like, "Holy sister." She brings her mother in. Natasha comes in, and I'm hanging out with the both of them, and they think it's hysterical because I really have no idea. Just that he comes in with no shoes, and I'm like, "This guy's got no shoes on his feet." And he goes, "Hey, I hear you don't know who I am." And I was like, "Who are you?" And the guy next to me goes, "You don't know the Grateful Dead?" And I was like, "I'm so sorry."
Like I know the Grateful Dead, but yeah,
I didn't know, like, no, I wasn't a Deadhead. I know a couple songs, but again, when he played that night, I ended up knowing more songs than I thought. And then I ended up actually liking a few more songs. So my girlfriends that were there were twirling, and as were the people that were there behind me when I was doing security, they were twirling for like 4 hours straight
yeah.
in circles. I really don't know what they were
That's what Dead
having.
fans do, man. They get up on
Uh,
their feet and
I
just
I don't understand how they can twirl for 4 hours. I tried it just for like one spin and I was woozy. I was like, clearly I don't have the same twirling mechanisms. I think
I
my
think they have
body,
years of practice doing it, Lynn. So don't
yeah,
kid.
because I could mosh, I can stage dive, I can go in a mosh pit, I can headbang for hours, and the next day my neck won't hurt, but I can't twirl. So that's something I have to work on. But yeah, so Bob Weir at the Capitol. And I'm fortunate, I'm working Goose at the Capitol coming up and a couple other shows. I think Phil Lesh is playing and Elvis Costello is coming up. So those should be some great shows. I'm actually working Bruce Springsteen at the MVP Arena.
Wow.
Even though I'm not a Springsteen fan, they're like, "Yeah, we'll put you in front of the
He
stage." And
puts on a great show, though. Yeah, it's
yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a great show. I did see him. I saw Paul McCartney in the summer, and actually Springsteen showed up, as did Bon Jovi, and that was unbelievable. Because he's Bruce Springsteen.
yep.
Although I don't really have love for the guy as I don't really know a lot of his songs, but he as a musician, he's great. So I can't
He's another
smash
one of
him.
those guys you probably know a lot more songs than you think.
I'm sure I do, and maybe I don't know, maybe some for some ridiculous reason I don't like them along the way. I'm not really sure what that was or in my past, but I'm maturing and I'm getting over that now, as maybe you will one day with Guns N' Roses.
I tried. I used to own all those records. I was like,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But my highlight, I think, of the last month was the other night, and I'm sure you could attest to it because you saw him the day after, was our friend Mike Portnoy in the Winery Dogs with Billy Sheehan, and Richie Kotzen. And I went down to the city ultimately for business, but it turned into a whole lot more fun than it was business. And it ended up being that I had tickets for that show literally at the hotel that was across the street from the venue
oh,
the same time they played. So I was like, thank you, God, for aligning the moon and the stars. So all I had to do was walk across the street and walk back. And it was unbelievable. Like I said, you were at the show the night after, and and I was literally against the stage. And when you see Billy play that bass and it's right in front of you, and of course I'm short, so I'm just looking up like a little kid at a candy shop, figuring out how does someone get that good? I mean, when I tell you, John Regan and I, he's a friend of mine, and he always says, "Yeah, that guy brought the stank," and I'm telling you, he brought the stank. I swear, it was unbelievable. And watching Portnoy, It's it's people always say Mike Mangini, Mike Portnoy. I said, it's apples to apples. They're both great, and but just watching Mike and again being in that drummer's haven, at drum heaven, and it's like another you're being in another world. I literally a few times I just closed my eyes. And when you do that, when you're listening to music, right, it takes away your sense of sight. So if you can take away some of the senses when you're actually listening to music, it's an unbelievable feeling. And I really feel like I was on another level that
Yeah,
night.
winery dogs are interesting that way because you got three absolute virtuosos up there, and so I saw a couple
It's
of people
sick.
commenting that like you don't know who to watch because
You
like you
don't.
you take your eye off any of them for too long, you're gonna miss something. Even though their music is very accessible and it's not Dream Theater type music. It's not
No.
Sons of Apollo. It's Winery Dogs is different. It's a different beast, but still, there's so much going on. Like you start watching Billy too much, and then Richie's doing this cool shit, and Mike is always doing
Yeah.
cool stuff. So yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It's sick. It is sick. And I tell you, he's got this strat, and the tone on that guitar was just breathtaking. Oh my God, I was like, my heart just was so full. It was unbelievable. And I don't know, and I know Butch pokes fun at me, and a lot of people poke fun because I may not know dates and times and people's names and songs, but just the same, when I close my eyes and I feel the music, I can't, when I tell you it transports me, I just thinking about it, I have goosebumps. It's just the feeling I get. I couldn't live without it. I wouldn't want to live without it. I tell you that. And maybe that's why some of my relationships failed because you don't understand if you're not one of those people that has that crazy love for music and you don't get it, you don't get it. Do we have dogs? Can I see some doggies?
Oh, they're downstairs and whatnot. They're
Oh, I
making
hear
noise.
them.
I think the
Oh,
mailman might be here or something. I'm not quite
of
sure.
course he is. Of
Yeah, it's the
course he is.
mailman. Yeah, it's the mailman.
But yeah, and then like I said, watching him and then Richie when he plays the keyboards and the piano and he does that song and he sits down, it gets a little more melodic. It's unbelievable. I thought for a moment in my mind, I know he's got his own distinct voice, but for a minute it brought me back to Chris Cornell's
Oh no, he
vocals.
absolutely sounds a lot like Chris Cornell. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, my brother asked me the same thing the other night. He goes, he kind of sounds like someone else. I'm like, it's Chris Cornell. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
got this
because
little Chris Cornell thing going on. He always has.
yeah, he does. And it again, because of my love for Chris Cornell, it just brought me back to warm and fuzzy, and you can't not leave there. You can't leave a winery dog show feeling anything other than full of music and love and passion. And what the fuck was that I just watched? It's all encompassing. It really is amazing. So I can't wait to see them again. I can't wait to work a bunch of these other shows because now I'll be at MVP Arena. I'll be at the Capitol Theater. I'll be at Bethel Woods bartending there. We have Robert Plant coming with Allison Krauss and
Are you
um,
working the Joe Bonamassa Stick Stunt Film show?
yes,
I will be
yes.
there. I'm pretty sure I haven't gotten tickets yet,
So
but I probably will be there.
yeah, I'm going to sign up to work all those shows. Even Big Time Rush, my daughter's a fan. That's going to be great. Zach Brown for the country folks, that's going to be huge. Yeah, it's just great, great shows there. And I work at the baseball stadium too. And sometimes they have music, even though it's local stuff, but it's usually still pretty good.
You should get
But I
on the
do,
staff for. You don't do any of the shows at the Egg up in Albany.
you know,
You
I
should. A
don't,
lot of great
but
shows.
I tell you, I don't, but I tell you, if I can finagle my way in there, I will. And I tell you, Saratoga Performing Arts Center,
Yeah.
I actually could get on a few gigs there because where I do security, we actually do work there as well. So I may try to see.
If you start working at SPAC, man, you're going to be doing gigs every single night of the week because like SPAC and Bethel
Yeah.
all have like shows
Well,
back to back like constantly.
my goal is to work 7 nights a week. I want to fill my schedule with music 7 nights a week. So if I can do that, I'll be one happy chick, man. I tell you.
You probably make
you
pretty good
know,
money too while you're doing it, right?
well, make good
It's a
money.
lot of driving around though, but yeah.
Listen, driving around for music. Get over here. It's again, if I was back in the day, I was following tour buses to see music. So if I could make money now, it's
There you go. Here you go,
get over here.
Lynn. There you go.
Oh, hey,
There she is.
look, Casey, come on. Come on, look,
Yeah, my Tala. Look, Tala, look. No, look over there, silly. Look over there. No, no.
Now she's jealous.
That's all you get.
All right, she's jealous. Hold on. I gotta get them jealous now. This is what happens. All right, there you go. See, they get jealous. She wants attention. He wants attention. Everybody wants attention. I would like attention.
So Lynn, you should show off your ink because
Oh, my ink. My actually it's for my parents and my son that passed away. The heart is for my son. The music is for my parents' wedding song, and my mom loved roses, so I got that. Yeah, I got that for my parents. And excuse the appearance, but it's taxes, gym day, and cleaning day. And so this is what you get. You don't get this is what you get.
okay, that's all right.
You know, it is what it is. I
No
can't
snow
look
by
all
you?
fancy fresh.
No snow on your side?
There's a little snow. Yeah, there's a little snow. It's
Yeah.
you know, I went to breakfast this morning with Mike's daughter, and I came out and it was snow, and I just was kind of shocked.
Yeah, well, we have
But
that today.
it's all right. I think it's supposed to stop at 2, and I hope so because I have some things to do. I went to the gym after that, and you know, but this is what you get. And I again, I think so. If I can work back to, and it's funny because I'm running for county legislator, and I do work during the day, so 7 days a
People are
week.
watching. They're like,
Day and
how
night.
does Lynn do all of this stuff?
You know,
Like,
people
God, we
ask
thought
me.
Pete was busy, man. Lynn's got it beat.
Yeah, yeah, no, a lot of people are it's funny, I was waiting on some tables and that are in the bar area last night, and the guy's like, "Oh yeah, you're just like my wife. You have 19 more jobs than she does." You know, like, well, that's nice that your wife doesn't work. I can't be one of those people. Not only because I have no one to pay my mortgage otherwise, but I don't, I mean, I don't want to be, you know. I really don't. I like to be out and about, and you know, if I can be out and about and make money, it's a win-win for me.
Yeah.
Right. So I have my passion for music, and what I want to do is I want to start writing for your blog too, and I want to start writing up and maybe just maybe I'll put my spin on some shows and I'll just start publishing some stuff because in the midst of all this, I'm still trying to publish my book and do some other stuff. But yeah, I'm a little busy, but I like to be busy.
A little bit, just a little bit.
I like to be busy, you know. In
Well,
the right back in the day when I was being a runner and production assistant, and we'd be on tour buses, and it was all about fuck you, pay me, you know. And so I still kind of say that joking around, but when you have a passion for something, and I have a drum set downstairs, but I don't have the time to practice. I was what band was it the other night? I think it was the Departure. That drummer had his practice pad and he's practicing, and I took his drumsticks and I was doing some paradiddles, and he's laughing at me and he's like, "Holy shit." And I was like, he's like, "You play?" I'm like, in my mind, like I can do your basic 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and I can double time that and half time that. And I said, "I don't know how you people go off on the cymbals and come back in time. I just can't do it." And then he was showing me how to do a flam. He's like, "All right, when I come back, drum lesson part 2." So I thought, wow, if I can get all of the drummers I know to give me 1 lesson each, I could be pretty good if I practice.
See that? Yeah.
I'll have to hit Portnoy up and be like, "Give me a Zoom drum lesson." Next time you have a minute. So Mike, if you're out there watching, I need a drum lesson.
When you got a minute, Mike. I know there's no minutes available right now. But yeah.
When you got a minute, I need a drum lesson because I'm
I think he told me
encouraging
when this tour ends, like early April, I think he's got a little bit of time before he's got to go do stuff with Flying Colors after that. So yeah,
Yeah,
there's a little window of opportunity.
Yeah, yeah. I think they're going to the UK also.
Yeah, they're going to Europe. Yeah, yes. I was talking to Sydney about that, and she's hoping that she can go as well. So
yeah, well, I'm hoping she can too because I'm hoping that we can. And the reason I say that is because no, I have a friend, Brian Dixon, who used to play in the band Cathedral. He's a drummer, go figure. But he lives out there. And my friend Ayako, who's a friend of Billy's, I actually met her. Billy, I was their runner at the Chance years ago, and Billy actually, she was there, and I actually drove her. Needless to say, 7 years later, Ayako and I are friends now, and we've kept in touch this whole time. And she lives there, and she's like, "Please come when they play." And then I met a woman, I was staying at the Marriott Marquis, and she was from London. She was a famous photographer. She did music and she worked for MTV and she did Fashion Week. And she's like, oh my God, I have a flat you can stay in if you come. So I think that maybe we should do like a Sea of Tranquility trip to the UK.
For the
I have a
wedding
flat.
day.
I have a flat. With that being
It's
said,
like, I know you offered your flat to me. Can I bring like 5 of my friends with me as well?
I don't think she'd care. She was so chill and she was just about the music and the love and the art of it. And she lives in not Scotland, she lives in Switzerland now, but she still has the flat and she would hang out with us. I mean, she's just really cool. So I was very fortunate this week to meet a lot of really amazing people. I met this girl from Japan who was at the Winery Dog Show, and now we're friends. And she's like, "You come to Japan?" I'm like, "Can I ride the bullet train?" So she's like, "Yeah, yeah, we ride the bullet train." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm coming to Japan." So now I'm like, "All right, I'm going to London. I'm coming to Japan. Do I have any takers in Italy?" Like, I'm coming in, like, so I feel like we should do some Sea of Tranquility trips. I don't know how I'm getting the time off, but we'll figure it out.
Well, yeah, that's always the question, right? So that's the
Well, hey, if
challenge.
we go viral enough, we can make enough money.
You never
Then hey,
know.
we
Never
you
know.
know, so just share this and then you never know, right? Stranger things have happened.
That's right. That's right. So everybody watching,
So
share and share away, right?
that's right. Share and share away. It's, gigging with Lynn. Pete and Lynn needed a new home. We need to travel. We need to travel to see shows. I feel like this is where I should like insert Venmo, like insert Venmo app. Feel free to Venmo me at Lynne Versaci.
Oh boy. So
Oh
there you
God,
have it, everybody.
shameless plug.
Catching up with Lynn in all of her travels. So, like I said, we'll try to do this once a month, and I'm sure Lynn's busy schedule will provide plenty of fodder
Yeah,
for
entertainment.
discussion. Yeah, exactly.
Plenty of entertainment. Oh, believe me, that wasn't all the stuff I've done. That was just a snippet of the stuff I've done. So yeah, we'll keep this going, and I'm thankful to you, Pete, for your friendship and for doing the show. And I want to tell you, actually, I got us a bunch more follows because every time I go anywhere, I do tell people, "Hey, I'm on this show," and so sometimes people will stop me and they'll take a picture with me, and people go, "Why are they taking a picture? Like, who are you?" I'm nobody, but my friend's got a show. He's somebody, and he allows me to be on his show. So, but I do tell people, and I'm trying to get more follows and likes for us. So,
Cool.
thank you
Every
for
little
that
bit
too.
counts. Every little
Yeah,
bit
of
counts.
course,
So
of
cool.
course. And
So
thank you
between now and next
everyone who
month, look
watches.
forward to Lynn on the Hudson Valley Squares, of course.
Yeah.
Which you're going to be on tomorrow or the next one?
So here's my deal. I don't even know what the topic is. You'll have to tell me off camera, but I'm having surgery tomorrow morning.
Okay.
I'm actually having surgery on my heart tomorrow.
Oh.
So if I can get some prayers, I appreciate it. But it's not a big one, I don't think. They're doing a cardiac ablation. It's at 7:30 in the morning, our time. So my plan is to bring my laptop or I'll have my phone. My plan is to jump on from my hospital bed if I'm coherent, even if I don't know what I'm talking about or I'm still under the influence, and just to say hey. So I plan on it. So we'll see
Okay.
how I
Sounds good.
feel.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
best of luck with the procedure,
Thanks.
Lynn, and
I
hopefully we'll see you
appreciate
Monday
that.
night. But
Yeah.
yeah, if you can,
Uh,
if you can, if you can't, we totally understand.
Yeah, yeah. If you can't, then you're fired. Why should you not be able to call in from your hospital bed? The hell, you can go to all these shows and get no sleep. You can't call in from a hospital bed.
Hey,
The hell's wrong
we've
with
seen
you?
stranger things on this channel because there was the episode where Lewis was on the prod seat. He was in the hospital. He had the brain surgery, and then he hopped on the call on the show anyway. And
Yeah,
he's got the wrap
yeah.
around his head, and it's like, so he did
Oh
the whole show.
yeah. I'm sure I'll look hot in my hospital gown. Maybe I should bring like a stud maker or bedazzler and see if I can put some bling on it.
There you go. Jazz it up just a little bit.
Oh, totally, totally.
So there you have it, everybody. Thanks for spending some time with Lynn and myself here
Yeah.
on Saturday evening. And visit us on the web at www.seaofTranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. All together.
All the damn
Damn
time.
time. For Lynne Versaci, I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching. Gigging with Lynn. We'll see you next month here on the channel.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.